Eradicating poverty would be great for the economy, Canada's premiers have been told.
Yesterday, August 4th, was a historic day.
Meeting across the street from the premiers in Winnipeg, a broad cross-section of business, labor, and community groups endorsed the Winnipeg Statement on the eradication of poverty. The statement calls on the premiers to establish a working group. It would report back in a year with a joint federal-provincial plan to eliminate poverty in Canada.
What I don't think that most people realize is the economic cost of poverty.
Senator Art Eggleton said several groups are underrepresented in the workforce. Seniors, lone parents, immigrants, refugees, Aboriginal people, and people with disabilities. Including those groups in the workforce will help pay for Canada's social system in the future.
So if we help those people to get the kind of jobs that are needed to be filled in this country, to pay the taxes to help to support the systems that we've come to enjoy in our social services, then we will be both helping the economy and we will be also helping get people out of poverty.
Peggy Taillon, President and CEO of the Canadian Council on Social Development, said now is the time to invest in projects that create short-term jobs and long-term social benefits.
We need to invest in our social infrastructure, address this social recession, build and invest in social housing, build more daycare spaces if you want to stimulate the economy. We can spend $1.2 billion on the G8 and a fake lake. Where's the money for Canada's poor?
Jim Dirksen, a disability rights advocate with the Council of Canadians with Disabilities, called on all governments to show leadership.
Poverty itself is like a sickness. Sickness for the individual who is poor, for the family that they're part of, and for the community of the society that they're part of. It's a sickness that doesn't really need to exist. Poverty can be eradicated if we have the will to do it.
Cindy Blackstock, Executive Director of the First Nations Child and Family Caring Society of Canada, said children raised on reserve receive much less money for government services.
Kids on reserve get less, not because they're less needy, not because government programs shouldn't apply to them, but because of the color of their skin. It is an anti-Canadian stand on behalf of the federal government, and it's something the premiers have the power to correct tomorrow in their meeting.
Tom Murphy, Manitoba, Ontario, Saskatchewan Director for the Canadian Auto Workers, said all governments must realize that current minimum wage rates are much too low.
We feel we cannot eradicate poverty while labor markets breed insecurity and inequality. Equality is spread by minimum wage that are in reality poverty wages. A subsidy to minimum wage sectors such as fast food industry, banks, and big box retail.
Sid Franco, board member of the Social Planning Council of Winnipeg, said the premiers should heed the advice of the business community.
Graham Starmer, the president of the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, reflected our call to action very well. He told us yesterday, as they endorsed this statement, talk is cheap. Now is the time to do something.
Other speakers included Damon Johnston of the Aboriginal Council of Winnipeg, Shahina Siddiqui of the Islamic Social Services Association, Ann Decter, YWCA Canada, and 3 members of Parliament, Liberal Mike Savage, New Democrat Tony Martin, and Bloc Québécois Yves Lessard. Liberal MPs Anita Neville and Gerard Kennedy also attended. This is Donald Benham for the Social Planning Council of Winnipeg.